Hey, welcome back to Score on Business. Remember, scorenashville.org. Okay, let's get back with Chris. So, Chris, tell us about a little bit more about your values and business practices.
Yeah, Pete. So we have this thing, it's called the Provider Trust Playbook. And
Okay.
the idea is that we want everyone to come to work knowing kind of the guiding principles and values that we as Provider Trust hold dear to our hearts and we want to operate on. So, you know, we have be the hustle you desire. Another one is do what's good. So it's not like honesty, but do what's good.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we would read that and then we have a saying about it. And then for about 5 to 10 minutes, we actually talk about that as a team. So what is do what's good and right? You know, our positivity is one of them. So we'll have a paragraph about positivity. And then we'll talk about how positivity impacts our team, how positivity, you know, have you seen positivity in a negative situation or in a hard situation, and how does that turn the situation around? And so we really talk through that, and really in a lot of ways what it is group therapy. And so we're teaching our team how to express their feelings, how to talk about things, how to communicate in a healthy way so that we could have healthy relationships both with internally, but then also with our clients.
You know, being able to communicate when there's conflict or disagreement in a healthy manner, what a critical point.
Yeah, Pete, and that's cool. So one of our things is conflict resolution. So we actually have a saying on how you process conflict, because unprocessed conflict is just, it's going to come up down the road. Right. We have a saying, if you're not true to your heart today, your heart will always win. So at some point in time, it's going to come out, whether it's in anger, whether it's in fear, whether it's in some type of frustration event. So we always try to process that conflict either, you know, right away. Allow people, you know, sometimes people process it differently, but we allow people to process it. But the rule is you have to get in contact with that person within 24 hours. And you don't send emails around, it's just you go and you connect with that person. If that person is kind of your leader and you need to bring someone else in, you could bring someone else in, but it's then that person's job and responsibility to hold you accountable to actually then go have that conversation with that individual. And I could provide that information to you as well.
Yeah, we'll get it posted. What are some of the other concepts or business practices or values?
Yeah, so we have the 6 core ones, but I really think what's so important about it is, we'll share those, but what's so important about it is actually for businesses to come up with their own. Right? Yeah. Because each culture and each environment is different, and that's what's so beautiful about cultures and companies is they're living and breathing organisms. And what's also neat about it too is it changes. Like we call it the living Provider Trust Playbook, right? Because it's always changing. We're always making tweaks to it. If someone has a conflict or has a suggestion, we'll add different things to it.
You know, one thing that really jumps out, many companies have their core values and that type of thing, which they do post on the wall, and well, that's it. Yeah. And one thing that is impressive to me about what you all are doing, you live it. Every morning it's the first thing you do.
Yeah. And at the end of those talking about our core values or our business principles, we actually have everyone go around and say one thing that they're going to accomplish that day. And so there's something powerful about just having one thing that everyone's going to hold you accountable for that you're going to accomplish. So then you look at it when you get to 10 or 20 or 30 employees or teammates, as we call them, you know, they're accomplishing 30 things that day that are pushing Provider Trust or your organization forward. And then the ball starts rolling and it gets bigger and bigger, and that's when you start, it gets really, really, really fun.
You know, we're coming to the end. I would love it if we had time for you to talk about accountability, but we're closing in. You know, anything you can send about that would be great.
Yeah, definitely. Would love to.
Okay, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week. Remember, scorenashville.org.
Thanks, Pete.